Welcome to the Lesbian Peep Show. Peep Show.
Welcome to Lezzing Peep Show. My guest today is Izzy Wagner. Did I say it correctly?
Yeah, he smashed it.
That's a German name, as we all know. I learned 30 seconds ago. And we just met. I found you on the internet. I think I saw a reel of yours that was like, "Are you a lesbian who blow up?" Which, of course, immediately my ears perk up. And then you do fitness coaching, which lesbians and fitness are two of my favorite things. And so I immediately reached out, and here you are. I would love for you to introduce yourself more fully than that.
Yeah, I am Izzy and I run Queer Confidence Coaching, which, as you so rightly put, is online fitness coaching for predominantly queer women. So I've been doing it about, I want to say 9 years now, so feels like a very long time, and I've been through quite a journey and transition with my own career with that as well, which has been really, really interesting the past sort of year or so, which I'm sure we'll get into at some point. But
Yeah.
it's pretty much me. Live with my fiance, getting married next year, have a beautiful golden retriever. Yeah, that is me.
Incredible. Incredible. I also live with my fiance. We have a pit bull and we're getting married in 3 weeks.
Oh my God. There you go.
Yeah, like 5 years after the proposal. There was like a whole pandemic. It was,
Yeah, I mean, we're 2 years engaged, so yeah, you guys win.
yeah, it just takes time. Um, I want to start with why why queer women? Like talk to me like I'm straight actually. Why am I not a part of this? Why are you not marketing to me? What's special about working with queer women and why do you need to be specific?
Yeah, a really good question. So I think a lot of this comes down to like my own personal journey with my like fitness, my sort of like journey within like the fitness space for myself, and obviously my journey with my sexuality as well.
Mhm.
So the reason why I absolutely freaking love working with queer women is because a lot of my own personal journey when it came to like, I grew up a massively overweight kid and
Mhm.
I was really, really badly bullied because of that, like online and in person, like
Mm.
some pretty horrific shit for my weight, how I looked, my sexuality. And I carried that a lot in my life. And that's what transitioned and manifested itself in like binge eating. And I had a really wacky relationship with food. And I was really sort of in a weird place of like my own body image and how I felt about myself. So, me going on a journey of losing weight, getting stuck into the gym, falling in love with, as everyone really cheesy says, like I fell in love with the fitness side because it gave me that power and that strength back. And it took me a good while to actually realize that a lot of the fitness stuff sort of kind of gelled with my sexuality stuff. And
Mhm.
the reason why I had such a wacky relationship with food was, yes, because of the bullying, my body image, and the confidence side of things. But it was also me trying to mask and hide the sexuality side as well.
Mhm.
At that point, I hadn't come out to my family, even though I knew they'd be pretty cool, but it was always this weird, if I just don't say anything, if I just hide it, and if I just wait it out, wait for that right moment, then it will just happen. So a lot of my own personal journey when it came to me kind of taking back that power, losing the weight, working on myself was very much related to the sexuality side. And we've seen that a lot with our clients, their
Mhm.
relationship with food, their body image, their confidence, their insecurities, a lot of that comes like massively from the sexuality side as well. So for me, it was just a really obvious there's a correlation here, there's a connection. Like we want to explore that, we want to help our clients with, yes, the fitness stuff, but then also how has your sexuality had a part in this, if that makes sense?
Mhm. Do you mean, um, I want to put more words to it, but I don't want to put words in your mouth. So do you mean that like shame around sexuality is manifesting in unhealthy body relationships?
Yeah, exactly that.
Okay. Yeah. So I had a kind of similar journey, and it's how I got started in fitness, though it's not related to my sexuality, but I have a trigger warning that I'm not going to get into like horrifying stories, but I have a long history of sexual abuse. And so that actually kept me from figuring out my sexual identity because I just thought all of the things that were uncomfortable about sex were trauma responses. Um and then we arrived and sometime. But I did know that like the way that it was manifesting in my body and weight and weird relationships with food and lack of movement, and it was a way that I could hide. And I was hiding to like try to keep myself safe, right? So it was all of the shame stuff. And I also want to name that like even amongst athletes that body size varies, and there's like very like kind of bulky women that do particular kinds of like weightlifting that's really cool. And so it's not like size correlates with shame or whatever. It's just like there are lots of ways that shame can turn up in your body, and addressing that often is done by taking healthy steps toward caring for your body in a new way, which is different for different people. So what do you do with your clients? What's your specialty? And I'm curious, particularly like how it starts to manifest in a new conversation with themselves about their bodies.
Yeah. I think, can I swear?
Of course.
Okay, cool. I was just double checking because I love to swear. Not I love to swear, but I will swear at some
Yeah.
point. Um, a big part of the way we coach, right, is we're just fucking human. Like
Mm-hmm.
me and the team, like everyone we've got on board that's working for us at the minute, like we've all had a journey with
Mm-hmm.
sexuality, fitness, confidence, body image stuff, relationship with food. And at the end of the day, like that understanding of what we've been through and how we've struggled massively allows us to help our clients. And a lot of the time, obviously, based on the content I put out, and obviously the fact that I love fitness, I love the gym. A lot of my content is more fitnessy based, but I like to kind of throw in little hints of, hey, if you're not where you really want to be right now, you struggled with this element or this element, this could be like the reason of it. There could be something maybe kind of underlying a little bit more to try and kind of bridge those gaps a little bit. We're human. We love coaching humans. Like it's a huge part of it, and the way we work is the sort of foundation of like that understanding, that communication, that building that relationship, having trust. Both ends, and just that wantingness to go. Do you know what? Like I feel like I can maybe feel, look, be a better version of me, and just running with that and just seeing where it goes. I hope that answered the question.
Yeah. One of the things I really love about being queer in the gym, and I'm a gym dyke. That's my favorite language for myself. But also, it feels like we are given such a specific line of thinking about what our bodies are supposed to be like, what's acceptable, right? And it's also super hetero. It's
Yeah.
about like what men will like. And so even if you are clear that you don't care about that, it's still like deeply embedded that like I'm supposed to be like to be the right kind of woman, I have to at least look a way that men will like, even if I don't want them. And so it's fun for me to like feel like I actually have gained autonomy in my body and I get to decide what I want to look like. And so I'm not at the gym to be svelte, and everybody gets to pick their thing. But I'm like, in my head, I'm a super scary muscular dyke. And I have like a little bit of road between here and where I'd like to be in terms of like, I just want to look like a mean dyke. And
Don't we all?
yeah, right. And I have this like goal in my head of being, I call it a transformer when it's usually women because we tend to have like more petite like upper bodies, and then the ones that are like really built will like go like this, and like all of their back just like flutters out like a alien or something. I want that. I want to
Yeah.
transform. I want to have a surprise scary back. And that feels really queer to be like, I am a woman, this is my body, and I know what I want, and it has nothing to do with what you motherfuckers think it should.
Yeah. Yeah, 100%. And like we've seen such a transition with that with our clients. And like I used to just coach like Gen Pop people, so like
Sure.
everybody, right?
Hmm.
And it was huge. Like a lot of the clients we worked with them were like, I don't want to get too muscly. I don't want to get too big. And like, I just want to be like slim. And now our clients are like, I want to get fucking massive and I want to have big arms and big shoulders. I'm like, yes, come on. So do I. Like this is what I'm about. I love it.
Yeah. I get stuck in the bathroom at night, like after I've done my face, like wash my face and stuff. My partner's always like, huh? Because I'm just like in there flexing, like seeing what's new. So
In America.
fun. Yeah, and it's such a different option than it feels like we're handed, which is hetero. And I think that that's
Mm,
worth naming because it's like, this is where this comes from. It's also like white supremacy, it's all these other things, but it's very straight. And so if you're not straight, like, feel free to drop that and see what else is there. It's also, as you know, I find it like funny and infuriating when people are like, I don't want to get too muscly. And I'm like, that's fine. You can like whatever you like on your body. That's fine with me. But the idea that you would like accidentally get muscly, like the amount of protein that I eat, the amount that I'm in the gym, the amount that I track everything that I do to try to get a centimeter more in my bicep. It's like you're not going to do that on accident. And I hate that you think that when you see a woman who's super muscly that that must have been a mistake.
I know, I know. It is so hard to build muscle, and like when I used to like obviously work in a gym doing one-to-one stuff. I'd have the woman come in and be like, in a consultation, they'd be like, I don't want to look too big, and I literally pull up my sleeve and I flex. I'm like, can you see this? And they go, yeah. I'm like, I've been training for 5 years already, and I still don't look like I lift, so you have nothing to worry about. And they'd be like, okay. Oh, it's
Yeah, it's not an accident. And it's that part of it that makes me want to shake them because I'm like, I need you to know that I've been lifting on and off for 15 years. There was a period of not because of like, depression, life, human things. But I have this like long range of lifting and I have the type of body that like I do squats for a couple of weeks and I have Hulk legs. But my upper body, like my quads are crazy. I love them. But my upper body is slow. And so like, the amount of time, energy, and effort I'm putting into this and the other thing that I don't think a lot of people realize is just the sheer amount of eating to gain
yeah.
muscle, like and particular eating, which doesn't feel like a diet. It's really divorced from diet culture. And it's infuriating that people see that and think, oh, that must have been an accident.
Yeah. Oh, I just tripped and fell into a dumbbell. Like, no.
No, it's so much effort and it's fun. It's fun and it's fun to I feel like it translates into so many other areas of my life and I would love to hear how this turns out for your clients because I I was elated when I started to see my traps, and I got to see like, okay, so I did this thing for this long amount of time and then they just sprouted up. Like how incredible. And I apply that same sort of energy to everything else I'm doing. This podcast, for example, I show up and I do this every week and it grows. And I can see that like it doesn't have to be immediate, but when I have discipline and routines around the things that I want, I get what I want. And that's fun. And it's fun to like have it show up physically. So do you see that with your clients in their sexuality and or the way that it shows up in other areas of their life?
Oh yeah, 100%. Like a big part of the way we want to do things is like showing clients it doesn't have to be a chore. Like, okay, what you've previously maybe done or wanted has probably felt like you've just been running around in circles and it's felt like, oh, I've got to do this thing or I don't have the time and it's felt like such a slog. Whereas with our clients, we're like, right, you want to like transform your body and build the physique that you want and feel proud and like feel amazing in your own skin. How fucking cool is that? Like, let's have some fun with it. So like everything we do with clients, like we create the thing which is going to work within their lifestyle and work for them, so they can actually go, oh, do you know what? I can get results and actually have a good time doing this. And you know, believe it or not, it kind of just blows up people's worlds because they're like, actually, I realize that I'm starting to wear clothes that I've actually been wanting to wear and I feel confident wearing them and I'm trying out different styles and oh, what's that? I'm going on a first date next week because I feel good. Like it kind of just like as I said, like it kind of clients kind of run with it then. And it's kind of this like, oh shit, I've been holding myself back for so long. It's almost them letting go and going, actually, this can actually be one of the best things that's ever happened as well, which I absolutely freaking love. My favorite thing about coaching. It's just that fuck, I didn't know my like world could look like this.
Mhm. Have you heard the stories are just like I think about similarly when I was in fitness, it was really women centric because going to men was sometimes awful. Just the things that they would say about our bodies or assume about our bodies, and women can too. So do you hear from clients who have like tried to work and just like whatever, whoever's at their gym and have come to you because they really wanted someone who understood them as a queer person?
Yeah, it frustrates me how often we hear that because they've just gone, "Oh, I felt like my coach just didn't understand what I wanted." And like one big thing that we have heard from a lot of our clients recently is I told my coach or my PT that I wanted to like build muscle and get stronger, and they said that woman shouldn't do that. Like, you won't believe how often I've heard that, and I've been like, "What? What?" It's just it blows my mind that like that's a thing. So yeah, we get that, and it's frustrating.
It's also like it's a basic science that they have access to. It's not like, oh, we have no idea how a woman could build muscle. That's a niche thing that hasn't ever happened before. You know?
Yeah, it's like, what, you don't want like get in the kitchen and make a sandwich? Like, no, like, we want to lift shit and build muscle and get strong.
Yeah, and maybe look like something you think is scary, and that's hard to wrap your head around.
Yes. Yes, exactly that.
At least that's what I want. Well, I remember one time I was going to this private gym that was for the athletes, so they had a lot of strength training. It was just like the kind of facility that's not a gym everybody goes to, and you feel like, wow, this is really like they train here. You know, I could ask for anything. And I went through the intake, and I wanted to increase my deadlift at that point because I'd been lifting for a solid amount of time, but I felt like I had reached my capacity for what felt safe to do without further form help. And the guy looked at me and he was like, "We don't have a packet for that." They had like, I don't know, maybe 9 packets for different sort of like programs they would send men through, and then a fat loss one for women. At this like elite training facility, they had female trainers who were bodybuilders. I was like, "What do you mean? She's doing it. Can she not tell me you don't have a
Yeah.
packet for that?"
Yeah, it's mad. Like, and actually, like, thinking about it, like, if you go on to like maybe not so much now, but like if you go onto apps or like anywhere you can get a program, like you'll have the men's side where it's like, right, conditioning, like muscle gain, like strength, and then you got the female, it's like fat loss. Like, what is that? It? Is that all we can do? Just lose body fat?
Right. Well, and if it is muscle gaining, then it's really specific. So I use an app right now because I like the training progression in it, and my coach inside the app is a bodybuilder. But the other options, and they're all like gender neutral, but there's different genders of coaches, obviously. And my coach is a she they. Love that. But the other women's programs, which totally turned me off, were like long, lean, up top, big, juicy ass. And I'm like, okay, so this is strength training. You're doing the strength training. And actually, the
Yeah,
programming is not all that different, but they'll do something like throw in a Pilates day, which is fine. Pilates is fine. But it's like this I understand the science of what you're doing here, and you're really just trying to sell me a sexy when like I just want to do bodybuilding. You're just trying to sell it to me in a way that sounds like boys will like it, which is so reductive and not my life.
yeah. So stupid.
And it also just doesn't seem like they know we exist. You know what I mean? I'm like, not everybody's trying to be a thing boys like, and I like having a juicy ass, but I understand that is because I built muscle there.
Yeah, exactly. There's a big difference between like juicy ass and like juicy ass or like strong glutes. Like huge
Yeah.
difference in that language. And like I'll always pick the one which is like strong or like build or like I don't know, along those lines.
It's also like it's more science, and I'm here for the science. I One of my favorite experiences now, because I have more muscle on my body than I have ever, in part because this is the first time in my life where I have felt like it was accessible to me to also include nutrition. For a long time, that felt just like dieting to me, and that felt like diet culture, and it felt like what my mom said growing up, you know. And so I had to just be like, I'm going to eat healthy, and I sort of know what that is, and lift. And now I have combined like science of nutrition, and it's like, wow, now I have traps. Incredible. But my favorite thing about it, which is a new experience in my body, is really having the physical sensation of pump. And I
Mm,
love when like I'm walking around the gym and my thighs have to get out of each other's what you know what I mean? Like that like
yeah,
and sometimes like my back is pumped enough that I sort of walk I don't know, like a sheriff headed to a duel type of energy, and it's
yeah.
just so fun. I'm like, "Who are you, little action figure?"
It's the little shake when you've got a quad pump and you can just like shake your leg and you're like, oh, like that feeling I just find so fun.
It's so fun. I also, like, secretly kind of love DOMs, and it's not all I know that that's not, like, a signifier that you've trained really well, like, different it happens different times for different reasons, but it feels, like, cute to me to be like, "Oh." My butt hurts from all of the incredible squats that I did. Wow, what a hero.
I know, I'm the exact same. And my arm sore? Good.
Good.
Cool.
What is your personal training like right now?
So at the minute, I've actually recently kind of got into CrossFit, which
Mhm.
fun. I actually freaking love it. And like I did bodybuild style training for like 7 years and it was great. But for me, I got to a point where I was like, I don't just want to stand there and just shoulder press and count. I want to actually see what like my body can do. So now
Sure.
I've actually started to use my lungs and my heart a little, but I'm like, fuck, this is the most fun I've ever had. So yeah, I'm a little bit of a CrossFit wanker at the minute. But I'm probably the strongest, fittest, and healthiest I've ever been. And that's just because like I've got variety in movements. I've done shit that I haven't done before. I'm
Yeah.
having fun with it,
Yeah.
learning new stuff. So yeah, I'm in a really good place with my training just because I'm having fun with it and just mucking around.
Mhm. I love that we're in the same boat and doing opposite things because there's something about and I fucking love talking about this with women who enjoy fitness because it feels really challenging for a lot of women, regardless of sexual orientation, to divorce the way I choose to live in my body and steward it and tend to it from men, from
Mm.
patriarchal beauty standards, from the diet your mom was on, from like all of this other shit. And it's like, or it could be like super fun and you could like bro out with your friends about what you're doing with your muscles. So is that the shift in your personal training lately has been to CrossFit?
Yeah, pretty much. And it's only just like, we don't sort of typically do that with clients. Like our
Sure.
clients will still program based on what they want and need and what's relevant to them. But like for me, like, yeah, CrossFit. I mean, there's still lifting in it. There's still, bench, squat, deadlift, chest press. There's still a lot of those static movements.
Sure.
But for me, kind of exploring, right, what else can I do? What is my body capable of? How can I really kind of push the limits with this? Like, it's been a real light bulb for me to go, fuck, I can do 50 deadlifts and 50 burpees in like 6 minutes. What the fuck? Like, stuff like that, which is just something I never thought I'd be doing. Or like, you've got workouts such as Murph, which is a military based workout where I can't remember exactly what it is, but it's like 100 pull ups, 100 squats, 100 push ups, and then a 1 mile run either side of that. Like, it's pushing your body to its limits, but it's fun. It is.
So sell working out to me. If I'm someone who's like, yeah, I would like to have a different experience in my body, but I've always hated the gym. I don't really know what I'm doing. There's like dudes there and I don't like being perceived. Like, so why should I consider working out?
Okay. My best answer, right, is probably not going to be, most people will probably go, what a weird thing to say, but this is how I see it, right? Take yourself back to when you're 5, 6 years old and you're a little kid running around the playground. That's how I see the gym, right? And for someone to like we all work, we all have jobs, we all have commitments, responsibilities, we all have to do really adult stuff.
Mm.
For us to go to a place in a different environment where there's literally adult toys where we can like our body changes if we use them, how fucking cool is that? Like, treat the gym like a playground. Like, yes, have some structure, have some targets, have some goals, but also like it's an incredible thing and opportunity and an opportunity to be able to go, wow, I get to go and do something really fun, which excites me, which allows me to see progress. That's time or in a gym is completely yours. You can use it to socialize. You can, train with family or friends or your loved ones, or you can do a class, or you can whack your headphones in and pretend you're Arnie or something and get lost in music. Like, that space and that time for you is completely yours. Just go lift.
Yeah. Yeah, I love it. I love one of my favorite things about people that are starting lifting, and I have a couple of friends who have recently, and then, they're excited about it, and I'm someone who doesn't feel annoyed by talking about that, right? Is that like you have that beginner gains momentum where like the things that you do, if you're doing a program, if you like, have access to like this is actually going to work and not something I found in a magazine that I may or may not commit to or know how to use then you get to see results kind of quickly and like build on that momentum. And that's so cool. And it's also most advantageous for you to take tiny steps forward when you're doing that. And that's such a good lesson. Like, don't go from 10 to 30, go from 10 to 12.5 and watch
Yeah.
how like cool that is. You know?
Yeah, yeah, it's all in the little bits, like, it's never about the big
Uh-huh.
jumps, like, it's the small, like, levels of progress, which is fun because then you go, "Actually, I can make progress," and that's the stuff which is most likely gonna stick as
Hmm.
well. It's like, I've just started I don't know if you guys have it in, like, the US, but, like, The Biggest Loser? You remember that
Hmm.
TV show?
Hmm.
There's a Netflix documentary on at the minute, they've just released about it and, like, how bad it was.
Yeah.
It's like their whole thing was whoever can lose the most amount of weight wins, right? And they're the winner, they're the biggest loser. But actually, none of them now, like when they're talking back on their experience, they've all put the weight back on. And it's like, right, it's not about the big jumps, it's about the mindset shifts and the habits and the behaviors and the patterns and the foundations that you sort of build upon slowly, which is going to
Hmm.
mean you make the progress, but you also keep it as well, which is the key.
Yeah, I have my friend Devin Day Moretti, who is also a trainer, and she talks all the time about the biggest thing about her own training that shows up in her life and all the rest of her successes is that she has taught herself that she is trustworthy. And that like when she says she's going to do something, she does it. And so I go to the gym on the days that I've planned to. I have to plan them because I get really annoyed with myself when I hear myself negotiating with myself about what I'm gonna do. You know what I
Mm.
mean? That's why I like have a training program too, besides that, like, that's, science, but it's also like on Wednesdays I do back. And then I'm not saying, well, do I wanna go? It doesn't matter if you wanna go. On Wednesdays you do back, and then you always feel better. And you can go and have a shitty workout. That's fine. You'll enjoy listening to music.
Yeah,
On
yeah,
Wednesdays, I do back, and that means that I show up to the rest of my life with that same kind of attitude. Like, I know that I'm trustworthy. I know that I'm trustworthy to show up for other people, and I know that I'm trustworthy to show up for myself, even when I don't feel like it. And there's something about flexing that muscle at a literal playground, like you said, that's so good for you, you know?
yeah. One of my favorite quotes on that is follow the plan, not your mood.
Hmm.
Like, so many of us just like, "Oh, I don't really feel like it. I'm gonna have the day off," or like, "Oh, my body's sore. I'm gonna have a rest day." It's like, okay, cool, you can absolutely do that, but you're not gonna move forward, or you're not gonna at least develop the mindset and that shift to go, "Actually, I'm not gonna listen to my brain every time I have an objection. I'm just gonna go and get shit done regardless." And like,
Right.
that
Well,
is
and the thing is, we do know how to do that because we show up to work when we don't feel good.
exactly,
Like,
exactly.
we do all types of shit that we don't feel like, and then feel like, well, the only place I can throw in the towel is on myself, and so that's gonna make me feel better, and it's like,
Yeah,
probably not, probably not, and at this point, I don't it's nice to watch when those things don't feel so rigid anymore, so now, because I have such structure and routine around it, I can tell when it's like I deload every 6 weeks, and I can tell when it's almost deload week, even if I'm not paying attention to where I'm at in my program, because it's like, oh, this is when you're going to want to take a break. I take the whole week off and I feel it coming. I know it's coming. I get to do it. It's great. And it's not me slacking on myself. It's like, no, I have worked into my life when I take a break from all of this and I come back stronger. It's incredible. I love the science. It's all considered in the plan. If you know that on Tuesdays after Mondays, you're not going to feel like it, then make that your fucking rest day. Like plan around yourself and then show up.
yeah, exactly. It's about boundaries, like prioritizing the right things, and just it's almost like self-respect, right? And it's one thing that we teach our clients is like, show yourself that you deserve more, like you're worthy of doing better. And like that shift right there, if like, right, you get to go and practice self-respect, like go and do the things that you said you're going to go away and do. Like you said, you want to be happy, confident, have a better relationship with your partner, better sex life, feel better, like better, better in your own clothes, more confident, run around with your kids, have the fitness to be able to do that. Go freaking do it. Go put the action in to make that shit happen.
Yeah. My, like, biggest fitness flex, which you can't really like, I've it's just, like, in my head because it would be rude to be like, "Did you guys all catch that?" Is, whenever I have to go up, like, flights of stairs or recently I was at a music festival actually with, like, a giant hill, and I was there with my daughter and her friend who were 17, and I don't struggle to go up hills because I that's a part of my training. I just do hills, like, at least once or twice a week, and I don't hate it, don't love it, but I like it's a physical asset that I have. And so like getting to the top of a hill with people who are significantly younger than me and able to talk freely and I'm like, "Oh, you guys are winded." It would be rude to point that out right now, but I'm just going to feel that in my body.
I love it. I love you know, obviously in London we have the tube, right?
Uh-huh.
Everyone in London takes the escalators, and there's usually two escalators, and there's usually a set of stairs in the middle. And for you guys, obviously having like on the subway and stuff, but like I will always hit the stairs, and I'm always literally like running past these people on the escalator, and I get to the top, and I'm like, fuckers, so slow, faster than you, took the stairs. I'm cooler than you, I'm better.
It feels good. It feels
Yeah.
good. I'm curious if you have any like hacks for how you get yourself there. I'll give you an example. So, the biggest shift in my training that has really carried me through is that I had this idea of like, well, I don't run anymore, but when I used to run, I felt like I'm running, so I listen to, like, rock music because running is, like, a tough thing, and then when I lift, I listen to hip hop because that's, like, I just had these ideas of, like, this is what the activity is,
Mm.
and when I don't wanna go, I'll change that completely. So right now, I'm in an era where I'm listening to a lot of, like, Riot Grrrl music, and I'm in, like, a movie montage where I'm probably gonna go, like, murder someone who deserves it afterwards, like, that's the vibes. But if I didn't wanna go tomorrow, then I would go with a playlist that was, like, actually slow and maybe even sexy so that, like, my experience in my body was different, and it totally changes the mood and makes it a new
Yeah.
activity. So that's how I make it novel and interesting for me when I don't wanna go. Do you have any, like, way you're like, "Oh, I'll wear new shoes," or something that will, like, help?
Yeah, I think for me, like, it definitely changes, and I think a big part of it is, like, finding out and discovering and exploring, right, what's the thing that I can adopt or, like, take on, which is gonna induce that, like, that want to go and do stuff, and, like, for me, it kinda comes down, like, to the fun and, like, taking the power back, so sometimes it is, wearing an outfit which makes me feel good or, like, when my, like, top matches my shoes, I'm like, "Yes, I'm gonna go in and look sick today." Or it's, like, a certain podcast I've been listening to, like, I usually listen to podcasts, like, when I run, so I'm like, "Right, I wanna save that one because I wanna listen to that." Or for example, like, even little things like my gym started this, like, gymnastics club every Friday, and it's so unofficial, it's just me and a couple of coaches who just muck around, but, like, that for me, having something different, having a little bit of a label on it and a little bit of a marker on progress, I'm like, "Oh my god, yes, gymnastics club on a Friday," like, and it's something that kinda keeps me going, "Right, I've got this commitment, I've got this, like, little micro thing that I'm working towards," and I think for every person, it's so different. Like, it can be music, clothes, like, the energy, like, even stuff like habit stacking. Like, I had a conversation with a client this week who's just habit stacked everything. So, for example, like, when she goes to the gym after she's done a session, she's gonna go treat herself to, like, coffee, time to
Mhm,
switch off. Or, one of my ones on a Thursday is Thursday mornings, I usually do a bit of education for myself in the morning between like 9 and 11. I've habit stacked that with my almond croissant. So
mhm,
sometimes it's that, right, I'm going to do this thing which is going to move me forward in some way, and I'm going to pair that with something which is going to make me feel good or a reward or something like that. So
mhm,
it depends and it can be so flexible, but I think kind of exploring that is the key.
mhm. I also think that there's something that's really useful about this in this time where, like, the world is like a scary place and there's a lot of like looking at your phone doom scrolling, like watching the news can feel very desperate, for different people for different reasons. And so having something that is expected, that's a routine that really puts you in your own body and in your own moment, I think is really important for navigating these times with your mental health. It's like these things are all happening and on Wednesdays I do my back. And that's not fixing everything, but it is a way that I establish that I'm still here. And also, being a big scary dyke in this time is important. We need us.
Yeah. Amen.
Let me get stronger because who knows what I'm gonna need to do with this strength. But like it's a small controllable ritual that can be really good for your headspace.
Yeah, 100%. And then it comes back to those boundaries, that prioritizing stuff, that self-respect. It's like, right, what do I need on a personal level? Like, what's going to make me go? okay, cool. I've got my shit together. I'm the boss. I'm the one in control again.
Mhm. So how has that impacted obviously, your whole life has changed and now you do fitness, but, like, can you distill the journey from the kid who was uncomfortable in her body and closeted to who you are today?
Yeah, it feels like it's in such a 180. Like I had the first half of like my life, like maybe uh, like up to like 18 years of age, where I was like, right, you know, overweight, uncomfortable, insecure, wanted just to hide away, was using food, was getting drunk, was using drugs, was sleeping around, was just trying to do everything just to kind of like squash almost who it is that I really kind of wanted to be. And then you've got the second half of my life where I was like, right, fuck that. Like, that's not working. That's not going to move me forward and make me feel any better. And I need to start changing things to really kind of start living life the way I want. Then you got that part where I'm like, right, I've done the journey, started losing weight, started going to the gym, I'm building muscle, I'm feeling more confident. I'm like putting myself out there a little bit more. I'm making better decisions in general. And then you've got, me now engaged with a dog, live in a really nice place, have a car, like what the fuck? Like that, like if you probably was to ask me, would younger me see myself where I am now? I'd be like, absolutely not. But it's all kind of happened because I decided to go, actually, I'm not confident in my own body or my own skin at the minute. I need to do something about it.
I love that. I love that, and, like, as also a fellow entrepreneur, I'm like, and then you start a business and you have to, like, look at the incremental, things you can do one fo anyway, it just, like, all correlates because
Yeah.
nothing actually is a before and after. Everything is, like, a one foot in front of the other, and the more you can, like, teach your body that and trust the process, I think the easier it is to pursue anything.
Yeah, 100%. It's just about like as I said, building those foundations and just layering on top and going, actually, I'm cementing all this progress and look what it can do.
I'm giggling internally right now because I'm thinking, like, this is either, like you're either listening to this and you're like, hell yeah, I'm going to the gym," or you're like, "Fuck you, bitches. It's not you don't just go to the gym and then you change your life. Shut up." You know?
Yeah, it's gonna be two very different types of people listening going, "Oh, fuck, which one do I do?" Which
Yeah.
one?
But I will say when I was starting from like, I hated gym class, so I had and I couldn't climb the rope, which is, like, a very challenging thing to do, and in our elementary school when I was growing up was, like, a basic fitness test we would do. It was like the presidential fitness test or something. I don't know. But like climbing a rope is a very specific requires a lot of upper body. So I could never do that. So I had this idea from very young, from elementary school, that like I was physically kind of a dud, you know?
Mm,
And so that was a lot to overcome when I was like, so I'm going to become an athlete. And so my road there started with walking, and the commitment that I made to myself was 20 minutes of movement a day, and it didn't matter what it was. And so I had a baby. And so sometimes that meant like after she went to bed, I would put on music and just like dance around my room for 20 minutes and then I did it.
yeah,
So that I just like figured out how to be in my body and experience it differently. And then I just started following what was interesting, but that was a really simple way to go from 0 to like now I love bodybuilding, was like just 20
yeah.
minutes of something.
Yeah, and that's the thing, like, so many people get like, "Oh my god, do I need to be a gym right now?" It's like, no, like, just go and move. Find something which you enjoy. Like, it could be a sport, it could be running, it could be yoga, it could be the gym. Like, it doesn't have to be so hardcore or like all or nothing. It can just be you just moving, like hiking, like taking the dog out on a hike. Like that's movement that could lead to like, "Oh, actually, I kind of like this. Maybe I'll look into like canicross or something, or maybe I'll like look into running or like water sports." Like there's so many options out there. It's just about starting with what's realistic right now and going from
Yeah.
that.
And it does not have to be the right thing. It's just like what feels good to you.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
Exactly.
Can I ask you some lightning round questions?
Go for it.
Okay. What's your favorite part of being queer?
Women. Just- Women are just the best.
I agree. Jackpot. What is your favorite queer or queer coded fictional character?
She's really controversial, but I saw a picture of her with a Mustang and a gun when I was younger, and I was like, "Fucking hell." Amber Heard, yeah, before the Johnny Depp stuff, Amber, I
Sure.
mean, she's still really fit, but yeah, Amber Heard.
Yeah. No, I mean, yeah, you're right. She's controversial, but I'm here for all of it. And there's no rhyme or reason to like what draws you into people, especially as a young
It was the
person that you
car.
love. The
I'm such
car
a
and a gun?
car. Yeah, the car. I'm a huge car person, so yeah, it was the car for me.
What kind of car? Like, if you could get exactly what you want right now, what would it be?
It would have to be a 1965 Mustang. It would
Okay.
have to be, which is the exact one which Amber Heard had in that photo. Baby blue. Oh, beautiful.
I love that. I have on my I just, I don't know, the world's on fire, so why not make a list of things you'd like to have, and muscle car is on my list right now.
Yeah, yeah. You and me are pretty much the same person. So yeah,
I want to leave the gym and get into my muscle car. I saw an elderly woman leave the gym and get into her muscle car the other day, and I was like, "Okay, Beverly, like stop."
come back. Take me out.
What's your favorite queer content right now? Is there like a movie, a show, a book? Have you seen The Hunting Wives?
No, but it is on my list because I've heard about it.
Okay.
Heard about it. So that's gonna be something I want to start very soon. Other than that, what do I back in the day I used to love the L Word. That
Mhm.
when I was growing up, I was like, yes. I didn't understand any of the plot, but I was like, yes. I'm
Are
in
you a Carmen? Who's your person?
Carmen, yeah.
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 It's like astrology, and which is your favorite L word character feels really easy to like.
Yeah.
Do you know your astrology? Do you know your sun, moon, rising?
No.
Okay.
I'm not that kind of
I was gonna guess you have some Taurus in there. You have like a real sturdy energy about you. Um, let's see. What is something you wish you could tell your younger self that you know now?
everything will work out. Everything will be fine.
I love that. And where can people find you? Can we all work with you? Is it UK based? How does it work?
Yeah, actually, most of our clients are in the US, which
Okay.
is really fun. Yeah, we work with clients worldwide, and the best way to find me just to either like geek out on my content or laugh at my content or follow my own stories, do whatever you want, is just Izzy Wagner QC on Instagram.
Okay. And I know that especially if someone is new, even reaching out feels a little scary. So can you, before we go, just sort of walk us through the process of if I do apply or however, how does it work? What will happen next?
Yeah, yeah. So obviously the fitness industry and the coaching industry is massive at the minute, and there's always this expectation of, oh, if I reach out, I'm going to sign up immediately. Like that's not the way we do things, and actually, in a really weird way, like we're quite selective with who we work with because we do want to work with like people who are like, oh, I want to do this journey for the right reason, and like I'm committed, and I'm blah blah blah, like all this and that. So if you want to explore things cool doesn't mean you're gonna sign up and be forced through this process of, oh my God, literally we can have a chat, a really open, easy conversation, find out a little bit more. We can decide together if we're gonna be a good fit. If we are, awesome. We can maybe then look at a next step. If not, that is all good as well. I'm not about being a mega salesy, pushy person. It's not my vibe at all.
Mhm. And what are the sort of different kinds of programs that people might start with, or is it just so variant?
Yeah, so everything we do is built around the individual.
Mhm.
So, like, you kind of sign up and we kind of assign you a program. Our programs we will create for you, depending on stuff like commitments, family, work, injuries, what's realistic, what you like. So, we kind of tailor all the different elements of what you need to you, essentially.
Incredible. Thank you for doing this with me. It's so fun.
Thank you. Thank you.
Peep Show.